I'm Samuel Morin. You're watching Nasty Knuckle.
You're listening to Nasty Knuckles, the Hockey Outlaws podcast, with your hosts, Derek Nasty Settlemyre and former Philadelphia Flyer enforcer Riley Cote, as they go behind the scenes with your favorite NHL players. Time to face off.
All right, welcome back. What's happening, Nasty?
Well, what's up, Rick Aurelia? I feel like I haven't seen you in about an hour.
I know, it's been a minute.
Yes, it has, buddy. What's going on?
Not much. You recovered from the weekend?
I have.
Tourney?
I had a good tournament, which you bailed on your teammates again.
New
Split
team?
up. We had some in Natty Ice and then joined up with some boys, our buddies, the Vittorinis from Dexter, Team Dexter, and we had some cool unis. You had one.
I saw.
But you never showed.
Well, I was trying to squeeze it in, but life got in the way.
I know.
Happens.
If we had you, probably would have won.
Yeah, I think
but,
so.
Thanks. Anyway.
Well, I did see some highlights.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Baller Speed those up.
Yeah, we are plucking those clips because I want to break those. I want to break it down. At least
did
the
have
one.
a pretty good goal, I will admit, for me especially. But geez, in the time that it's happening, I feel like I'm just buzzing, flying, and then I see the replay on Live Bar, and I'm like, was it that slow? Like, what
Did you even take a stride over the blue?
I did. I think I took a couple strides, but it just worked out that. But Gratz like to slow the game down.
He did. He slowed it down
Hazy
nice.
slows the game down. Our boy Hollywood. I just was trying to slow it down a little bit. A little fake drop to Foxy.
Yeah.
John
You got
Fox.
the skills to do it.
And the guy bit, but as you said, did he really bite or did he just not move? But the goalie went down. I saw the net, and I put it in with the Tovey stick.
Of course he did.
And
it was a blaster.
It was funny. It was actually, I actually meant to put it there. So that was. It's always nice when you actually are trying to do it and it happens.
Were you in flow state?
But with that, yes, I was in flow state. I might have been in something else state too.
You said it was the best you've ever felt?
No, in a while, because I've not the best I've ever felt. I think it was the best I've played, but I felt good because finally I've dropped a few LBs.
Shedding some LBs.
Yes, and I felt
for
a
you.
lot better. And I've been doing, not your yoga, but stretching, doing some of your stretches.
There you go.
And it definitely
see what
helped.
I'm
I felt
talking
great
about.
all weekend. Yeah, it helps. It definitely does. I'm not gonna kid around about that. I think it had a lot to do with my weekend. I wasn't sore at all.
Good, yeah.
And
Less
from not
information.
playing in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And jumping out and playing, 4 games or whatever it was we played. But it was fun. Missed you though. Probably could have pulled it out if you'd have been there, but we needed a team lose to make the playoff round, and they're losing. They pull the goalie and score like 30 seconds left to
one
get
of
the
those.
tie, so they get a point. So
You
we
guys
don't
are all
make
watching it too.
Yeah, we were kind of watching, but it was a good weekend. Had a good time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just go straight to the All-Star game in a couple weeks.
You are.
You're not in it?
I'm not. Me? No, I'm not in it. They want you.
Oh,
you
all
haven't
right.
played a game all year. You get to fucking join the All-Star game.
Why the hell
This is
not?
bullshit, man. No, I'm
Politics.
kidding. Yeah, it is politics. They want the Rigarelli out there.
Oh, yeah.
But I heard you can drop the mitts in this new league, so
Oh, yeah.
so you might have somebody
5-minute
knocking
majors?
on the door.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather just smoke the peace pipe now.
I figured that.
Yeah.
You can't take it on the ice though.
No?
No. Not allowed. Maybe in the penalty box. I've seen Debo in the box there at the roller hockey rink smoking a fucking bowl.
Big cloud of smoke.
Debo, you're it. Give me a minute. Penalty. I'm like, no, the penalty's over.
We got to change the men's league. We gotta reform what this looks
Mandatory.
like. Mandatory.
Mandatory.
A little puff of cloud here
Oh,
and there, a puff
man.
of smoke here and there.
Yeah, no,
a
I
little
don't need
chocolate.
that, man.
No?
I can't do
You
that.
like
I
the
can't
gummies,
play
though?
sports like that.
Well, you don't have to eat 200 milligrams, Nas. You can probably reel it into like 2.5, 5.
The way I'm built, Riggs, I'm pretty much in flow state all the time.
You
Like,
are.
it's pretty much
You
there.
sleep
You
in
saw my
flow
new
state.
glasses.
Yeah, I
I,
did.
don't have them. I don't have them on right now.
You were in flow this
I
morning.
was in flow state
Oh,
this
I know,
morning.
yeah. I could see it.
But had a good time anyway. I know you were actually really busy, so it was a good time. Had a blast. Appreciate Brad and Brett inviting us to join them. We had a good time. JD played with us, Foxy, Maddie, Denton.
Nice little crew there.
Yeah, we had a good crew, and other boys from the team that you probably know most of the guys that were playing. So we had a good time.
Nice.
Not much going on right now. Kind of slow, except for
really slow.
Alex Kochenyuk. He had a pretty busy week. Not to make light of that, like it's not funny,
Jeez.
but
that's one of those. You might. Oh man.
As you said earlier, there might have been a couple times we got into one and you didn't remember and had to ask me exactly what had happened the night before. But this, he got himself into some trouble here.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's not good, but he issued an apology, obviously, to the police, to everyone around, I guess.
The organization.
Yeah, the organization.
Fans,
and he is his contract was
terminated.
It was
Yeah,
terminated,
13 days
so
after he signed.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, jeez.
Done.
Yeah.
So,
for all the young listeners out there,
yeah, really, for sure.
choose your decision making a little bit more wisely. And
I used to tell you that.
oh, I know you did. And you probably don't have to get that crippled either. Got to respect the
fun.
sauce a little bit. Yeah,
fun.
well,
No,
you're
I'm
threatening
kidding.
police officers and
Not
doing
making
all
fun.
this this extracurricular activity that
Yes.
they probably crossed that line of celebrate.
Well, I'm pretty sure
celebration.
there was a line crossed there.
Several, but you wish him the best. He's going
Yeah,
to
for
substance
sure.
abuse, man. This is one of these things. Like we're making light of a tough situation, but
Yeah.
this is all stuff that we've kind of all dealt with in our own worlds.
Yeah.
And he's seeking help. He's made the apologies. He's owned it, obviously. So you just wish him the best.
And the thing is too, on top of that, Rouses, you never know what people are going through.
Exactly.
There
That's
could be
exactly.
something. Again, we're kind of kidding here, but it isn't funny.
Yeah.
This could be going through some stuff, and like you said, he issued apologies and he owned it, and he's getting help. So best of luck for him, because he's a good hockey player.
Yeah.
And a good guy. So hopefully he can bounce back from this, because it's not pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's you just wish him the best. That's all. We
Yep.
all make mistakes, and
Yep,
that's all you can do is own it, get help, move on.
that's right.
What else is going on? Flyerland?
Yeah,
Anything good?
it's like I said, it's been a little quiet, but our good friend of the show, Tony DeAngelo, got bought out.
Yep.
Kind of feel bad. Well, feel bad because he got bought out. He wanted to play here. Obviously, we had him on the show, and he couldn't have been more excited about coming back to Philly. And things just didn't work, and it also sucks for him, because if he could have been bought out earlier,
before
than July
1st,
1, he would have definitely been able to get a deal. Now he's stuck. I'm sure something will happen, but no one has money now.
Right.
The cap space for all these teams. So I actually ran into him. He's really good spirits. He was practicing yesterday, skating with a bunch of the guys over at Hollydale Ice Arena, and he said he's just waiting to see what can happen here. And he said he just loves playing here.
Yeah.
It's a shame it
see
didn't work,
that.
but
Is that just the buyout just an easier move to make? They're trying to trade him. Is it just like just like to avoid trying to shop him around and go through that whole rigmarole? Just buy him out, move on.
Yeah, I think they kind of did it to help him out, because Baller, if I'm not mistaken, the trade, it looked like he was going to be traded to Carolina, and then something's happened there, and I don't know exactly what. I didn't want to be nosy. We were just talking, and but I said to him, it's too bad you couldn't have been bought out earlier, because then
of course.
But I'm not
More
sure,
opportunity.
Baller, what happened.
Well, I think what happened was they're kind of shifting towards the Erik Karlsson trade market.
Right.
And it sounded like there was a deal in place and the league nixed it, because there's something in the CBA where you can't trade for a guy that you traded away less than 365 days ago with cap retention. So they think, the league thinks
Right.
there's something fishy going on cap-wise where, okay,
Right. There was like a back.
Well, it's a different
Backdoor
GM, though.
deal.
Shouldn't that come into play?
I mean, it's a different GM.
It's a totally different GM,
Yeah.
so you would think. But I thought afterwards, Baller, I think we may have talked about it, not on here, but I thought after a certain date they could make the trade. But you're saying they kind of started leaning towards Erik Karlsson.
The Hurricanes general manager came out a couple of days later, said we're still going to do the trade, and then the timeline hit where they could make the trade, and it didn't happen.
And it didn't happen.
And all the rumors are saying Carolina wants Carlson, Pittsburgh wants Carlson, so maybe they're waiting on that. It sounded like they were going to get some prospect named Massimo.
Our boy?
Mass.
I'm not really sure what happened. I think maybe Danny decided we can use that salary retention spot better used at the trade deadline, where maybe you trade Mark Stahl at the deadline and you retain half his salary, where if you didn't, maybe you get a fourth or a fifth for him, you retain half his deal, get a third for him.
Okay.
Use the retention slots to their advantage. I think that had something to do with it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Way above my pay grade. Nest.
Well, Riggs, I mean, just start doing some reading here. Get on that cap,
right?
cap friendly, whatever it's called. So anyway, I hate to see Tony not going to be back in a Flyers uniform, but hopefully everything works out for him. Great guy, man.
Yeah,
like I said,
like
friend
Tony
of the
a lot.
show, and he's just a good human. Cam York got a 2-year deal.
Yep.
Annual salary
Good for him.
1.6.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. Little bridge deal there, I think. To see what happens. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And then Noah Cates also received a 2-year deal. His a little bit more, 2.6 a
Yep.
year. So congratulations to those guys. Two guys that I think will be around in the future.
Yep, I like to
they're
think
two
so.
young players that are have a lot of promise and. Danny's got his work cut out for him along with Jonesy, but signing those two, those aren't killer back breaking deals, it's
They're necessary
probably,
too, right?
Yeah,
Even
but
for young guys,
necessary.
keeping them fresh.
I think the Yorkie deals. I mean, I think that's pretty friendly for the Flyers. I don't know. Like, what do I know? I don't do the cap, but
You don't.
not today. I didn't do it.
You were crunching numbers this morning.
I wasn't. I wasn't crunching them.
Okay.
But anyway, so congrats to those guys. That's about it, man. There's just not much going on right now.
Yeah, that's it.
You were
A little dry spell.
a little dry spell. What'd you think about Wimbledon there? You enjoy that?
Yeah, pretty strong.
Yeah.
Pretty strong attorney.
Can you believe McEnroe won? That's crazy.
Couldn't believe it.
It's wild. He's pretty old. He's like fucking 60. How does he beat Federer?
Limber.
John McEnroe hasn't played.
Yeah,
forever.
I know. I know where you're going.
Gotta
with
be
that.
kidding me.
Oh man.
Anyway,
All right, I think we're ready to rock your
let's
nest.
go. We got our big buddy.
Big Sam
in the
Morin,
studio.
2.0.
Yeah, 2.0 back in the studio. When the last time he was on, he was playing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's moved into a new role, so I think it's about that time.
It's that time. Here we go. Episode 123.
Let's go.
Yep. Welcome back. I'm Riley Cote.
And I'm Derek Settlemyre, and this week we have a big gentleman in the house, great friend of the show, former first-round pick of the Philadelphia Flyers, Mr. Sam Morin. What is up, brother?
What's up? Thank you for having me. Just try to get closer to the mic. Is that okay?
Oh, you're good, buddy. You're good.
Good.
So, Big Sam, first time in the studio.
Yeah.
You've been on the show before when you were still a player. Now you are player development.
Yes.
Tell us how that's going and how this came about.
No, it's awesome. I mean, I've been doing this for a year now. So, it came out probably around Christmas time when Chuck was still here. He offered me something in the organization, and player development really talked to me. And and I started during Def Camp last summer, and so far it's going good. Yeah. Love it.
When you got named to that, we were talking about you were like you couldn't find a better guy. First of all, you just played, like you know the game. These kids aren't too much younger than you. They're a little younger than you, and you know how you're probably going to be able to deal with them a little bit easier because you just finished playing, right?
Yeah, it's a different relationship, a different talk. Like for me, it's like more of a big brother role, and like I told you earlier when I came in, it's I have a lot of experience with some stuff like my injuries, being a first rounder, dealing with the pressure, me being French, the language barrier, so I can relate to all those guys, and I'm really close to all of them. So I think that's part of my role, to get close to those guys, like so they can trust me with anything. Like I'm here to, when I go see them play, I'm here to evaluate them. Obviously, like I do reports and my bosses see it, but I want them to trust me on any problem. Like, you know,
Right.
I think it's huge. Like I don't want them to see me as a like that evaluate them all the time.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
So they just like a trust relationship. Yeah.
Right.
So you work with the defenseman. Talk to what it looks like during the season. Your role, how does that look? You're traveling around. You're visiting with these guys.
Yeah. So summertime, that's where we're right now. I'm in Philly quite a bit to skate the guys that are training here. And summertimes I go visit them, talk to coaches, talk to the parents sometimes, and you know. See what's going on, take them for dinner, and you know, build that relationship. And obviously, I do a lot of video with my guys. I think it's a huge part of today's game, and you know, I watch almost all their game. So I take care of the defenseman and the Q, the Quebec part of it. So I had a little gender on today this year.
Well, I was going to ask you. So you know, it's unfortunate, I think, Riles, that you know you were one of the big key factors in banning fighting from the Q.
Was I? Hey, something. I know, but something funny about it is hockeyfight.com was posting like a top 20 of fighting from the Q, like because they're banning it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got tagged on one of them. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. I got like a ton of highlights in the Q, and it's the worst one I ever. The one I got. The only one I get knocked out.
No.
I almost like DM'd them. I was like, what the hell is going on there? Like, I got a way better fight than this.
Yeah,
like,
why'd they show that one?
give me a good one. And it was like a
man.
terrible one. But you know, you get some.
What are your thoughts on that, though? Honestly, you know, you were a guy that stood up for your teammates. You think that's good, taking it out of the game?
I mean, I don't want to. It's a delicate subject. Obviously, it's part of the game. So
Right.
obviously, when those kids gonna come at pro hockey, they're gonna be surprised by. You know, it's the fighting is never gonna get out of it. I think it's okay that we don't have the heavyweights anymore. But I think it's just all those dirty little guy, or I would say like the dirty little guy, they're gonna slash you behind the legs and gonna get away with it without. You know, response to it. Like, it just creates some, like I was at a lot of Q in the Q games, and they're just like, they always punch each other with the gloves on, and it's so dirty.
Yeah,
like, just
right.
like settle it and move on and play hockey. But yeah, at the same times, like, you don't want 16 years old fighting against older guy.
20-year-old.
Yeah, like you were
I
probably
understand.
doing when you're back in the dub, right?
Yeah,
so,
right, yeah,
But
different animal.
it's a touchy subject, but yeah, for sure, I think fighting is part of our game, and
Yeah.
we need to keep it for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting perspective. Yeah, like, I'm all for keeping players safe, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But you know, to your point, like eventually they're going to turn pro,
Yeah,
and they're going to have no experience,
and that's when you're gonna get hurt.
and then
yeah,
unfortunately,
they need to.
you know,
Yeah,
they have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And-
You know,
and you know, college too. Like some guys are really courageous with the
the
big
cage
visor.
roll.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, they're gonna but now the visor, they're like
We had Nick Sealer on, and
Yeah.
we were like, you obviously, when you put your helmet on, there's some wires that get crossed. In there
Nick, yeah.
because you
Yeah.
played college. Was it hard for, you know, we had asked him, was it hard for you because he'll fight. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's fighting in NHL, and but like you said, in college, guys are real tough
Yeah.
when they have a
The
full
cage
cage
on,
on,
yeah.
you know. So.
yeah. Nick is a good guy. He's,
He is a
funny.
good guy,
He's
yeah.
got the switch. Yeah.
That's what we talked about, the switch.
Yeah, you just see in his eyes, okay, he's pissed off. Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good flyer. He fits that.
Oh, he fits. He's a
flyer.
great guy too.
Yeah.
So you know his role, and
Yeah.
you know where he is in the lineup, and he's awesome.
great attitude.
Yeah.
Talk about how your retirement happened, and you know, I know you were battling injuries for a couple of years, and then you know, what the straw that breaks the camel's back, and your decision
Yeah.
to retire. Talk
No,
about that.
obviously I mean, you guys know how many injuries I got in my knee. Like I got 7 or 8 surgery on my knee.
That many, hey?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, crazy. And you know, like I'm never gonna point finger at anything, but anyone. But it's just unlucky. I was just unlucky with my last surgery. I went to Chicago, and they told me that I was gonna be fine. That was in July, and I re-hurt my knee a week after that, and I need another surgery in September. And the guy told me, okay, should be fine around December to play again. And my knee was just like, I was just losing cartilage. Like imagine a orange and you just peel it. Like it just, my
Yeah.
cartilage just peel from my bone. So in January, at the end of December, I was like, mentally, I was drained, and I said, I don't think I can do it again anymore. Like,
Right.
and you know, I need to think about my future. Like, I need a knee replacement at 28 years old.
Right.
So that talks to you, and you know, and right now my knee feels fine, but it's never gonna be the same. Yeah,
Right.
you know, I play hurt during the COVID year. I was taking a lot of pills to just play, and you know, at the same time, you need to think about your health. And I decided to shut it down, and it's the right decision for sure. Like, I have no regrets. Like, I had, you know, you saw me like in the gym every day. Like,
Yeah.
you were there, and
Yeah.
like I think I did everything I could to be a player, and now I'm gonna do everything I can to be the best development coach in the league. That's like, you know, that's where I am. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, you're taking a lot of your learnings from your playing career
Oh,
into this role.
Yeah.
And yeah, you definitely. I mean, I was coaching you know, down in Lehigh, and I seen the adversity you dealt with, you were
Yeah.
dealing with, and you know, you don't wish that on anybody. But
Yeah.
I always remember you having the best attitude, like you know, up and down and like all over the place. You're always there, putting in the work and keeping the good attitude. As tough as it was, you know,
Yeah.
from my perspective, I know what you were going through. I can't imagine what it was like, but you know, at some point you had to be honest with your situation, right?
No,
It's
you
like,
need to realize you need to look yourself in the mirror. And I always been a believer in, if you work really hard in life, like my dad and was like this too, you're gonna get what you want. And you know, and every time I was like, yeah, like okay, another ACL. I was like, yeah, but if I work, man, like I'm gonna work even harder, like, you know. And it just didn't happen like this. But at the same time, it creates me an opportunity to do what I still love, hockey. And yeah, and I love it. Like, this gig is awesome. Like, I'm on the ice with guys, and just to see them after games, and you know, when they have a bad game, I know exactly how they feel. Like, you know,
yeah, right.
I had a guy this year, like I saw two of his game, and after the game he didn't play really well, and I was like, bro, like, I know exactly how you feel. Like, just like, we're gonna do video, we're gonna work together, and we're gonna point out what's going on right now. Maybe you don't move your feet enough, you don't go at the net, stuff like this, that, you know. And the week after this, he was great, you know. You just need to, but I know exactly how they feel. Like, there's so much pressure to be a professional athlete. Like, there's so much stuff you deal with. And
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
easy. Just listen to what people say. It's
oh
just
yeah, they think it's easy, yeah, but
Yeah,
you
no,
deal
I'm
with
ki-
so
I'm
much
kidding.
shit.
so much shit.
It's
Yeah.
so much more
Yeah.
behind everything that people.
And they don't make money at a young age too. Like,
Or
you know,
exactly,
like,
that's
they say,
exactly
oh,
it.
you get money, but like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, you earn your money. Like,
Oh
because
yeah,
it's,
yeah. There's a price to pay for
Yeah.
sure. Well, it must be refreshing for these young guys to have a guy like you come around and be that voice of reason. You know, you're getting feedback, you're getting the coaching without all the extra, being super critical. And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
That negative vibration
Yeah.
that comes along with coaching.
But at the
down.
same time, I need to tell them what they need to do.
Be honest,
To be honest with them, and tell them like what you need to do to be in NHL. Like,
Yeah.
that's the goal. Like,
Yeah, of course.
And I don't care, you're first rounder or 7th rounder,
Yeah.
or you invite, like, like me as a player, I love to be coach. Just tell
Yeah.
me what I need to do. Just tell me. That's what I wanted. Like, okay, like my feet are not good enough. We're gonna work on it. My shot or anything. Like, oh, I'm not physical enough.
Yeah.
The big thing now with the kids they're not. Like, they have ton of skills, but they're not like physical enough. Like it's, you can make a lot of money playing on the fourth line in NHL, you know. Like, so you need to find your chair, and after like not everyone's gonna play on the power play. Like, you need to find your role. Yeah.
That's such a good point,
Yeah.
Sam. Because I'm sure you love hockey. I'm sure you watch the playoffs. The teams that make it are playing the hard game.
Yeah, it's playoff hockey. Yeah, you need to.
It's hard, man.
We need skills.
You have to have
doubt.
skill.
No doubt about it.
But nowadays, your skill guys have to maybe go in the corner once in a while.
But you need to have the puck to score goals. Like,
That's
if you're just
right.
a skill guy and you're just waiting for your teammate to get you the puck, like, you're never gonna get it. It's
Right.
it's a team sport.
Yep.
Like, I really believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
How much has changed? I mean, it's only been 5 years since I was coaching, and probably a little longer than when I was coaching you. But there's so much emphasis on the physical body, strength, so much emphasis on skill. how much emphasis on the mind, and you see the guys that make it, don't make it, the guys that are inconsistent because of they're basically their own worst enemy.
It's a grind. It's a grind. Like you're gonna get through so much adversity just to play one game in the NHL.
Right.
And when you make to the NHL and you made it, you think you made it. Like you play your first NHL game. Now you need to stay.
Yeah.
So like that's the grind in my opinion. Like everyone can play like 1 or 2 good games, but can you stay in the NHL? Like can you like play a full season? Because this is hard. Like guys are so good. So this is a like NHL game is so fast now, and it's a grind. It's a grind, and night after night you need to be on your A game because there's a next guy behind you who's going to take your spot. Yeah, every year there's draft picks coming.
Yeah,
you need to be ready to go.
100%. Yeah. And what are you guys doing like to maybe lend a hand to that piece of consistency? Again, like the physical piece is there, right? These guys are built like Greek gods. They're fast, they're strong, they can shoot. But it's always like, you've played with guys. I've coached guys, play with guys, and I'm probably including myself. Like, there's times where like you become your own worst enemy. Like you're not able to let go of a shift or let go of a bad play or let go of a bad game, and then you carry that over into the next game.
But we have guys that do that psychology now. Like, we have a new guy, Jeremy, this year that's his job, like talking to players. But teammates too are huge. Me, my teammates. Always like really trust my teammates, and the vets, and talk to them, and what's their opinion. Because I wanted to be a pleaser. I wanted to everyone be happy with my game.
Right.
So sometimes you need to self-evaluate yourself. You need to know if you play a good game or a bad game.
Sure.
So I don't need like nasty opinion. Like I know how I play the game. So I think self-evaluate your game is huge now, in my opinion. Like,
be honest with it.
Be honest. Know what you are, and if you play a good game. For me, like it's not by making points. Like when I was playing, it was like by how I defend, how hard I play. This is why I was a first rounder, because I was huge. I was skating well, good first pass. That's what I was. So you need to self-evaluate yourself. Like they need to learn. Like I got guys sometimes they come at me and I say, "Hey, what do you think about your game?" I say, "I was sick." So, okay, because you got one apple, you got one assist. Hit your chin pad, and
like that.
So like I'm like okay, let's see, like we're gonna do some video. I'm gonna look at your chef, and like you were not involved a lot, and it's okay. Like it's just they need to learn. It's a learning process, and when they're gonna know what's their game, what's their identity, that's huge. You need to know what's your identity.
100%.
Yeah.
And having someone like you helps them reflect on their game honestly, right? Because if you don't have anybody to keep you accountable, you're always gonna think like
in a positive way too. Right? Like I tell you, I'm not saying hey, like I'm not shitting on them.
Right.
Like it's all the way you approach, and and for me, like video. Like you can hide from it. Like when I show you in the video something, and I say like you see it, it's you, and the guys, the player sees it, and he's like, oh yeah, like you're right.
You're right. Yeah.
I didn't really go to the net there, and it was turning, and my assist was pretty lucky. So maybe my game was not as good as I thought.
Yeah, keeping them honest.
Yeah.
Who is? I mean, you've been doing this a year now, but. In your opinion, who's a prospect that you've been working with that Flyer fans should be like excited about, or someone you think that's really got a?
No, we had a ton of good prospects. Honestly, like we just drafted. Demon Bunker and guys like this. I think we should be all excited about our picks. Like, and when they get drafted, like that's my job now to take care of them and to like tell them what they need to do to get the new level, but. I don't want to name too many names. Like obviously they're gonna listen to the podcast, and we should be excited about what we got in the prospect pool right now. Honestly, like we made some Thursday. I think make some really good picks, and I'm really excited. Like I have some big bodies I can work with as a D-man, and we have a guy too in Boston that's really physical. I really like his game. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think our prospects are solid, and and Danny's clear about what is going on. I think my department, like our department of development, is really, really important in the years to come. It's huge. Like
it's probably the biggest it's been in a long time because we're in an official rebuild. So
obviously the scouts they're going all over the place. They found those talent, but some of them needs work.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's our job, you
That's
know.
what
And
you got.
even the strength coach, the strength guys in the gym,
Right.
as important as us. Development.
Yes.
Like we need to even if it's a later pick, if we can get him to NHL, like we need to, get those guys.
Yeah.
Where they need to be.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, now you're on the other side of it. Like, how much do you interface with like the Phantoms during the season?
Yeah.
And how much development actually happens during the season? Like in reality, they're skating every day, they're practicing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the big thing. I think development is in the summer.
Yeah, it is the summer.
Yeah,
right, of
it's
course.
a summer thing. So my job during the winter, it's I go see them, and I take notes, right? I do reports on what they need to work with, and I go back and I look. Okay, so this guy needs to work on his skating in the summer, like da 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 da. So because there's not much you can like they have coaches. You can't like interfere. You're not a coach. Like,
Right.
be clear, you're not a coach. You're a development coach. So that's more of a summer thing. Like you said, like how much you can do in the winter, it's to support them, do a lot of video with them, and talk to them. And that's it, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on the ice too sometimes. In the aid, we do like development session, but like they have practice. It's a grind. The season's a grind. You need to rest.
Yeah.
Summer. That's
Summer,
when-
yeah, I know. I agree because
Development is the summer.
Yeah, because I remember when I was still coaching, the development guys would come in, and it's almost like they were justifying their job by like adding another skill session before practice.
Okay,
It was like,
that's it. Yeah. You've been around. You know exactly what's going on. Yeah. So for me, like, yeah, if I go with the Phantoms, obviously I'm on the ice, but I'm not like just. Like you're there to watch, and you can make if Lappy is saying, hey, we have 30 minutes for you guys before practice, let's make a little skill session. That's okay, but you can like it depends of the schedule.
Yeah, right, of
In the
course.
summer, like
True.
that's when I'm here.
That's when
and,
the meat and potatoes
and
is,
yeah,
yeah.
that's when I need to work. Summer, like
Yeah.
that's when I work
Yeah.
the most. Yeah.
Well, that's probably one of the most you get most gains, like fit, like as
Yeah.
far as a hockey player
No,
goes.
that's
as far as,
and
like,
obviously this
strength
year it's
and
awesome.
Foundation.
Yeah, we have a great setup. So yeah, guys that want to train here are well treated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has much changed in the game as far as like say defensive position since you retired, or the teaching?
I mean, it's just
much
been
the same.
a year or two, so I think it's pretty much the same.
pretty much the
I
same,
think,
yeah.
Like you look at, you always copycat in this league, right? You see
Right.
Vegas, like the way they were built, they were big, they were
Yeah.
fast,
Mm-hmm.
they were a good first pass, and I think on the back end you need to be you need to be big, in my opinion. Not overly, like you need to have some skills, but you need to be
Like heavy.
heavy and
for
but you still need to have skills. Like
Sure.
those guys are rare, like guys that can move and they're big and can make a good first pass, and I think that's how you win.
Yeah.
Like you're just a copycat, right?
Yeah,
Look at
it
Vegas.
is. Yeah,
It's
every
always
year,
like
yeah,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well,
always
that's
like
what teams do.
Yeah, I used to study the champ every year.
oh
and-
they won. Okay, so okay, yeah.
We need to do this.
You look at the deals that the Demon got during
Yeah,
free
yeah.
agency.
Yeah.
Schenner, like those
Yeah.
guys are rare now.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
don't- Like he was in the
Radko
American
Gudas.
League. Yeah,
You know, Goody. He
Yeah.
got a great deal.
he's got a great deal. Yeah, because he's a physical. You don't
He's-
find them.
Yeah.
So I told my kids,
Totally.
like just hit a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're rare. We need that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like
It's,
Ryan Reeves, this deal.
yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Nick
It's nice-
Deloria here. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You don't find those guys anymore.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
No, they are a rarity.
Chef play 10 years later. Right?
I know, yeah, exactly. We're still getting deals.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
They're
He
rare.
could come back.
Okay.
He's 40
skill-
pounds lighter. So.
No, I know. I saw his
I'm a
next.
skill guy. I mean,
So
it's
he was
a
talking.
featherweight.
He was talking about your picture. We maybe have to get Baller to pull that up.
Yeah,
What'd you say? You weighed 500?
Yeah, 5 on doing the jaw.
I was
Yeah.
keeping on
In the
500.
jaw.
Yeah, it was like-
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was getting paid to eat.
yeah, you were a big boy.
Oh, I
yeah.
was. Yeah, I was fat.
Yeah, you look better now though. Healthy
Yeah,
and-
well, way healthier. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
better than I ever have.
Yeah.
Yeah, was he?
Yoga. Yeah.
Yoga every
yeah.
day, stretching
Skill
it.
guy.
Yeah. He's a skill guy in men's league on our team.
Are you okay?
Oh,
you
yeah,
teach
he's a
guys a
goal
lot.
scorer.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Yeah, but I love when you were coaching me. I love your drills. You had some good stuff. Like, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Just trying to keep.
Maybe you should bring him to the men's league. We can run
We
a
should,
couple
yeah,
drills and
yeah,
warm-ups.
yeah.
Yeah, any moments.
Well, just trying to be realistic with some of this stuff that happens in games, right? A lot of times I always felt like some of the drills didn't really translate.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you need
So
to. Yeah,
it's- you gotta.
This is a big thing for me too. Like what we're doing. Try to so they can see what's the game situation, you know, puck protection, like in the corner, like, okay, so that's that situation for a forward, or same thing, a breakout for D, like, okay, like you get pressure and you need to turn this way. That's why, like, you need to explain all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And how many times, like, a defenseman, a shitty puck comes up the wall?
Yeah, exactly. You need to handle it. Like,
you got to handle it, right?
Yeah,
You're in the way
right.
of it. You got to settle it down. Like, and
Yeah.
that happens over and over and over again. And it's like, he's just
exactly.
like little things like that, obviously. But no, it's fun. It's fun. I always enjoyed, that part of it. Just like, just seeing guys dig in and learn and see them improve.
So fun, eh? So fun to watch them, when they enjoy it and they want to learn, they ask questions, like that's what I love. That I love that part of the job. Like, ask me a question, man. I want to work for you. Like, I want to work really hard for you. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what, as a player, that's what you expect too.
Totally.
Yeah, that's the only thing you need.
Yeah.
Like, do you care? Yeah. Do you really care about me and me making the NHL? That's it. As a player, that's it. And obviously you need to know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like,
it helps.
Yeah, it helps. Sometimes, like, I was like, but me, like, I always, like, all my coaches were always fine. Like, I had coaches that never played hockey, and when they were telling me something, I was like, yeah, you see it from a different perspective. You take it or you leave it, but you need to be coachable.
You have to be. You have to be open to receive the information.
That's huge. Yeah,
mm-hmm. That is a big one. Mm-hmm. And I was actually going to ask you about coaches. Like, is there anything that, like, jumps out to you from like your coaches in the past that you're able to take into how you're communicating with your players? Is there something specific, or is it just kind of like an accumulation?
But like I told you guys earlier, like, for me, I'm more of a positive guy. I really want to be positive. I had some situations sometime in my past, like during development camp, I was like a little like nervous to
holding the stick.
It was a little like, it was like, exactly, holding the stick, like just relax. We're here to learn, and I'm here to help. I'm not here to evaluate you, like, especially during the summer. Trust me, let's do it together. That's what it is. Like, they need to trust me. Like,
yes, 100%.
Like, I want them to talk to me like I'm a player, not a media guy.
Yeah, right.
Or like, that's what I want.
Yeah, that's super important. I was gonna say also, I think you're still fresh in this job. Like, when you see guys make their way to the NHL and play games, and like that feeling. I'm not like you're gonna say you take credit for it, but like you see them kind of coming into their own and becoming like the true pro that you're trying to
exactly. So it's my first year. I don't have any guys I already worked with that are there yet. But Desi, like, example, Denoyer, like last year, I was like, he was my look, like, I took care of him when he was here in the summer, like, take him for dinner, and I was like, I was proud of him.
Of course. And
good even as a player, I was always happy for my teammate, but I was gonna compete against you like crazy, but I was happy for my teammate for what happened to them. It's a tough business. You need to be close to your teammates. Like, it's a little circle. Like, you need to trust them.
True. Yeah.
Well, I think, like, we know you well, Sam, and the people that don't, you're such a good human being away from me being a hockey player. That's why they have you in this role, because you're going to flourish with it, because you do care.
You care, exactly.
Like, you could tell you cared. Like you said, you kept battling. I mean, I felt so bad for you. Like, but it was like you didn't want anybody to feel bad. You were like, hey, I'm okay. I'm going to get, like, you have that attitude.
Yeah, thank you.
You're always positive. And for those kids, that's huge coming in. You probably
huge.
they can kind of take a breath, because you're telling them, like what you said, hey, just relax. We're just trying to get better here, not evaluating. And your attitude's always so positive. I think that's going to be huge for these kids.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Amen. Yeah, thank you.
Because the reality is like, adversity is going to happen. These guys are going to get hurt. They're going to get benched. They're going to have all the, life
everything's going to happen to them.
So it's like the attitude is the one thing you can control.
Yeah, exactly. And when you realize too that in life, I don't know, like me with Cole Bardo, remember him?
Oh yeah,
told
of course,
me that before.
Yeah.
And I was like getting injured, and I was coming to the rink a little pissy, and he looked at me and say, "Do you realize that no one's going to feel sorry for you?" Like, and that thing in my head, like, all my career, like, just put your work boots on and keep moving forward. Like, no one's gonna feel bad for you in life, like, for what's happening. It's just, that's the business.
Yeah.
Like, you need to make your way. like we always like in life when something happened, we're always like, oh, like sometimes we're bitter why it's happening to me, but it's in the past. Like no one's gonna feel sorry for you. Just keep moving forward, and that's what I do with my role. Like I'm not better one bit by what happened to me.
Yeah,
with my injuries. Yeah, not at all. Actually, like
it's amazing. Actually,
yeah. Actually, retirement is pretty nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
no. You're stealing cars.
Yeah, stealing car. Yeah. Enterprise. Be careful, guys.
Well, they won't be a sponsor anymore.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, that's good, man. Mm-hmm. It's good to see you. I'm glad. Didn't have any doubts that you would end up working for the Flyers or anything like that, but it's really good to see because it's important for these kids and their development, and couldn't think of a better guy, Riggs, to have doing that.
And there's no surprise because you mentioned it earlier. You know, like if I keep working hard. Well, maybe it just wasn't in the cards to keep playing physically, but that work ethic, that attitude's carried over into what you're doing now. So it's like it didn't go by the wayside, and it certainly wasn't not noticed. No,
exactly. Not like you said, not the. Like how many times I spent in the gym alone on the bike, or but like I wasn't doing it to get noticed. I was doing it for me, like to have a career. But like you said, like people, like there's highs everywhere. Like, people see what you're doing. Yeah. Like you strength, not strength, equipment guys. You guys like GM talks to you guys. Like that's what I noticed on the other side of the business. There's always someone watching all the time. If you're junior and you think you're in the middle of nowhere, you're gonna take a night off and someone's watching.
His eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need always someone's always watching.
Yeah, and that's where the attitude is so important, because had you gone pissy, you're probably not in this position. Honestly, I mean, you know what I mean? Because it's easy to get sour and go that way. And
how many guys like me got injured? I'm not the first one.
No,
no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
so
you can blame a lot of different things and situations, but again, going back to the attitude, I think it's just such a critical piece for everybody in life, and all the listeners, all the prospects. I mean, if it's the one thing that you can teach them, you know what I mean, is like
it's
like how you approach it,
and all that.
Because it forges a path forward, So,
100%.
Well, we appreciate you, Sam.
Yeah, man.
This has been awesome seeing the flesh here.
Yeah, it's fun. Thank you very much.
We do want to announce the one thing. You haven't totally agreed yet, but August 15th, the boxing match against you two.
Oh yeah, okay, we're doing it. But when Riley was coaching me and when I was fighting, I was always playing more after that. Yeah. So that's it's like, come on, buddy.
Yeah, right. Get back out there.
Yeah, I love it.
Man, Sam had 26 minutes of ice tonight.
Yeah. He's got 5 minutes fighting too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, buddy, but hey. Give our best to Cube. He's getting married.
Yeah, Friday.
He's really going to do it this time.
He's doing it.
Have a good time, buddy, and thanks for your time, brother. We love you, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Anytime.
Good luck in the gig, and I know you're going to do really well with it.
Thank you, yeah. Keep in touch anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big thank you to our good friend, Sam Morin. An awesome dude. God. Yeah, big boy.
Forget how big he is.
Jeez, man, I think he's bigger.
You guys should have given me like 4 phone books to stand on for that picture.
God.
Jeez, you're tall enough. You make me look like a midge.
Just a little tyke.
Whew, you ain't kidding. What a big man. What a nice man.
Yeah.
What a nice kid. Still call him a kid. I feel like he's still a kid, but he's obviously not.
He's not?
No, not really. He's 28. He's a big kid if he is.
A huge kid,
Hilarious. Still afraid of snakes. Fake one's
so
a little eyeballer. I'll have to post that one.
Can I sit there?
Yeah, that's your seat. Brother. That's your seat.
Oh, fuck!
I fucking hate it.
He loves that thing.
That's your seat. Oh, fuck!
That's your seat.
Oh, fuck!
I fucking hate it.
And he also rang his brain right off my basketball goal because Elvis has it lowered all the way down. Poor guy, he's got a conky leaving here.
Man.
Going to Cube's wedding, and he's got a conky. But no,
tough.
Seriously, the Flyers, that is a great hire.
Yeah.
A guy like him, a positive guy, and who cares about anything he does. Mm-hmm. When he does something, he's doing it 100%. And cool to have him in and talk to him, because you can see how excited he is about it.
Yeah. Love being around him. He's always got the good energy, and to see him bringing that into the player development side of things is is what they need, honestly.
It is.
It's like the old guard's kind of out, and you got this new energy coming in. And
Yeah.
I mean, the guys dealt with so much adversity, man. I mean, I witnessed it firsthand. You did too.
Yep.
And to see this guy showing up day in, day out, and just pour it in, soul into it, and he gets rewarded, right? I mean,
does. Yep.
We talked about it with him on the pod. He gets rewarded because of such a good, how much of a positive attitude he carried around the rink, and
Yes.
how he impressed the staff. So we wish him the best, man. You know, he's going to do well
It's
in that.
awesome. I do.
in that
I
role.
believe so.
It's right in his wheelhouse.
You never know where it leads to. Later on as to a coaching position.
Exactly.
If he wanted.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he's such a fun guy to be around, and he loves what he's doing, and good for him.
Yep. Yeah, wish him the best.
Yep.
All right, Nas, it's that time.
It is. It's time for Clear Questions, brought to you by our friends from Clear Rum. Do not forget, Nasty 2023 for 35% off in PA only. Go to Clear Rum and put that in. Trust me, you're going to love it.
Nasty loves it.
I do. It's
Oh,
unbelievable. Well, anyone I've given one to
Yeah, of
loves
course,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
everyone
it
loves it.
seriously is. It's the best. And I was never a rum guy. I know I've said it, but good God, it's good.
And if I was still on the sauce, I'd be crushing it.
I think nobody likes quitter, and you should just come on back. I'm just
Rehabs
kidding.
for quitters, Nas.
Yeah, that's right. No, let's do it. Clear rum questions.
Here we go.
Caller, what do you got?
We got one from Jersey Mike over on Twitter. Flyers
Jersey Mike.
daughters talk Flyers. He wants to know whatever happened to calling a penalty on a player for an illegal curve on their stick rule. How did it work between equipment guys telling a player it wasn't legal and the player wanting to use it anyways? Any good stories?
Actually, I do. It's funny because my dad was legendary for calling sticks.
Really? Hey?
And I'll never forget my first year in Florida. We're playing the Rangers, and I believe it was Kovalev. He would have been obviously very young. And
Definitely illegal.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I got
But
one.
Roger Nielsen was like super nervous, and we were in the playoff hunt. We literally finished that year, the inaugural year, 1 point out of a playoff spot. But it's a huge game. We're in New York. It's tied. And I remember Roger Nielsen, it's a tied game, looking over to my dad, and he said, "Sudsy, are you sure?" My dad goes, 100% call it. Call it now because he's got it in his hand. Call it. Actually, it was illegal. We scored on a power play.
Wow.
Seriously. So,
Was
I
that
was
Sudsy's strategy, just to like observe
he
the
always
opponent?
looked at he just, he had done it for so long.
Right.
And so
He just knows.
Yeah. And so a couple funny stories quickly. I remember being with the Phantoms, and John Paddock, too tall, was known for checking teams' sticks. Like we had to leave our stuff in their room until the next day. And I'm not saying Too Tall went in there and checked, but I'm saying he went in there and checked. And we had Mike Manilock had always used an illegal stick, and I would always tell him, well, Too Tall calls it, and Manny breaks it on the bench, and so they put him in the box. Well, I think it was the next year, we had Ryan Bast, and he had an absolute hook. Now back in the day, part of this answer to this question is you remember the measures?
Yeah,
we had.
of course, yeah.
So you could tell if you could use it to. That's how the refs checked it. I remember Marty McSorley getting called.
Oh, yeah, that was a big one.
way back, and cost them the game.
Yeah.
in the series to go to the finals. But anyway, I told Beast, I was like, listen, this coach here, he was going to call your stick. I said, let's make one legal. So it was when you put the blades into the shaft. So we made one legal, and he played most of the game with the illegal one. Third period, we're up a goal, and I said, Beast, let's switch this stick out.
Shelf
and
it.
he's like, let's wait a little bit longer. I'm like, man, I got a bad feeling. I'm telling you. Switched
Sure
it.
enough.
Too Tall called it. They get the penalty.
Wow.
And yeah,
Great
so like
strategy,
there
Nast.
was thanks Cotton.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. And then all of a sudden, I don't think there's an illegal stick anymore.
No.
There's not. And I mean, you see Novi's curves, you see all these curves. Like
So there's no rule anymore.
There's just
Or they're just not calling
if
it.
you can play with something like that,
Yeah,
I
right.
think they're saying go ahead.
There's no advantage
You
at this
know,
point.
so yeah, I remember there were quite a few different times with things like that with sticks, and you were always nervous. And so I started making players make one of their sticks, and it was just always on the bench that was legal if they play with an illegal stick.
Wow, interesting.
So yeah.
It's funny you mentioned John Paddock. I don't know if you saw. He just recently retired from hockey. He was a GM and a coach and everything of Regina Pats, but been in the game forever. But I had a chance to coach with him.
Yes.
And I've seen some of his old school strategies, so I'm not surprised that he was sniffing around other people's sticks.
Yeah, it was funny. And as my dad knew him, obviously he had him as a player, and my dad told me, like, too tall, call sticks.
Yeah.
Like he's always like, because my dad would do it, so he was like kind of like interested by it, so anyway, that's a couple of stories.
Yeah, it's good.
Good question.
Yeah, really good question.
We got one from Dr. Brizgalov over on Twitter.
He's a doctor now?
Oh, he's got a lot of time
guy
on his
does
hands.
it all, Debo.
Yeah, he's paying his way to med school and
Debo, wait,
get nothing but time.
We're still going.
Do you think Danny B will lock up Frosty the Goal Man long term?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know, Roz. Like, I think he played well, obviously, as the year went on, and I think he gained some confidence from Torts, but maybe not sure if he put quite enough up to go with a longer deal. Maybe a bridge deal, in my opinion, is what he'll probably get, and I think it could be really good for him because I really think he's getting better and better. And that could work out well for him.
Yeah, that's the way I'm thinking of it as well. I think he did enough to earn that bridge. He's stronger, more confident. He talked about it, obviously. We could see it in his play. I think he's one of those guys that you'll continue to get better with more opportunity and ice time. So it might not be a bad thing to get a little bridge in there. And I'm not sure he played enough and produced enough for that. Long term. Yeah, that's the way I see it. But
yeah, me too. Good question. Thank you.
One more from Greg Bond over on Instagram. What role in a hockey organization would you want to be if you had your choice? GM, coach, scout, etc.
Nast, you want to be GM, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I don't know, man. That's a lot. It's actually a really good question. I actually think I would like to be a scout to watch because I'm just such a nerd. I love watching hockey, but I also enjoy coaching. And I know it's just kids, my son. So it'd either be a scout or to actually coach. I think I'd lean on coaching. You have coached before, and I've heard that there's a lot of stress with it. But I think it'd be fun. I would like to try to coach.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a whole lot of stress being an assistant coach. You kind of.
I don't know. Some days you're a little rattled.
Oh, a little rattled because there's a bunch of bullshit in politics.
Yeah, exactly.
But head coaching is a different thing. GM, obviously, all the eyes are on GM and head coaches, right?
Right.
But there's obviously a ton of different roles. Player development would be, ideal. And I think, like for me personally, I would see myself maybe in that world of player development. But in the world I'm in outside of sport right now is in the world of mindfulness. That's why I keep up asking questions with Sam about the mind, and because I feel like how much stronger, how much faster, how much more skilled can we become? That's foundational to being a hockey player, obviously. But I think like I'm looking at the guys that that never played versus the guys that played, guys that were drafted that never played, and guys that were never drafted that played. And what is the difference? And it's certainly not anything more than the mind, right? I mean, the ability to focus, but also to let go of shitty games, shitty shifts. But the mindfulness piece is, I think it's talked about more. I think more and more teams and organizations are bringing that in as a piece of the player development. So it's a kind of a unique role, I think. But I just think it's a gap. There's a gap there. I think getting ahead of this thing and not just on performance, but like mental health. Like if you actually do give two shits about your players, and preserving their mental health. If guys are enrolling in the substance abuse program for 30 days or missing games because their mental health isn't right. This man games lost. It's could be the difference of making it, not making it, the playoffs. I mean, but so I think for me personally, it would be kind of carving out maybe a new role. A mindfulness coach, I guess.
Yeah.
Within that player development role, because I think it's necessary. Guys are struggling.
We've seen so
many guys, struggle, and again, while they're playing, when they're retired, obviously when you're talking about while they're playing, it's like giving these guys a foundation of understanding how to ground when shit's not going well.
Right.
That's just on the hockey side of things. They got life.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
You know, girlfriend, fiance, wife, you know, family, you know, I mean.
Oh, sorry.
You know, you got all the stuff you're dealing with outside of the performance. So, you know, finding ways to preserve your mental health and perform at a high level consistently. I think that's the key, right?
Yeah.
Guys can play a couple games up and do well, but staying consistent. So that'd be my answer.
I like that answer.
There
It's
you
way
go.
better than mine.
No, I like it. You want to be a coach? You want to be a GM? You want to be a scout?
I want to be a coach.
Be Jackie Moon.
Yeah, Jackie Moon. Oh, yeah, player coach?
Why not? Marketing?
Yeah, there you go.
Selling tickets?
Yeah, no, I don't want to do any of that
No?
stuff, man. No. But great question.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And that's a wrap, Nast.
That's it.
Clear questions in the books.
In the
Episode
books.
123 in the books. Appreciate all your listeners out there. Be sure to check us out next week for 124. Until then, stay safe, knuckleheads.
Yeah.